Wait for the next 1 hour so that we will have a very interactive session with Honorable CM. So now it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Angela Chaudhary, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Swasti. Can you come over and invite other panelists and conduct the panel discussion, please?
Thank you for the privilege of, I am too short for this actually, I'm going to tiptoe. Thank you for the privilege of being here, a very warm welcome. I'm going to be a bit loud because it's a post-lunch session and I can see some people snoozing. Feel free to stand up and stretch yourself if you like. I'm going to be a bit loud because it's a post-lunch session and I can see some people snoozing. Feel free to stand up and stretch yourself if you like. I think that's good for you and good for the blood circulation. But before I start, maybe we could start with a resounding round of applause just to wake us all up and energy. Because why? Because health is wealth. Is health wealth? Yes? So can I get a louder applause? All right, I do see half the room waking up, so that's great. A warm welcome to all dignitaries, Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, and the Minister of Health, Satyakumar Yadav. My name is Dr. Angela Chaudhary, and I'm the Chief Catalyst of Swasti. It's an Indian-born global public health organization that tirelessly works for vulnerable communities to bring 100 million healthy days by 2030. And since I have the stage, I'm going to take 2 seconds extra to say, sir, when I was a dental intern, I was part of your Janmabhoomi program from a large group of dental colleges in Bangalore that were very excited to come to the neighboring state and support districts like Andhra Pradesh, Chittoor, Tirumala, and Tirupati. And I must say I was the only non-Telugu speaking person, but at the end of 2 weeks I did learn dental language in Telugu, so just an aside. But I want to say that AI and deep tech, like Krishna Babu Garu just mentioned, focuses on population health management and disease prevention. From the morning we've been talking about diagnostics and R&D, which are very important, very less talked about in the public health and surveillance scenario, like population health pattern analysis. If we didn't know where the population was going, tomorrow we might end up with non-economically productive populations. So we have to have those analytics. Environmental health monitoring. Do we know when is the next extreme weather event? Human resource allocation. We all saw what happened during the COVID response. We didn't know how to quickly multitask and quickly deploy good human health workforce to space. And health equity analysis, most important and dear to me. Who are the people left out of the health systems? Who's not getting the services that they need to get? And of course, contact tracing and health communications. These kinds of technologies using AI and deep tech help us make good governing, good health decisions that implement preventive measures across the community, leaving no one behind. They are particularly valuable to prevent pandemics, to address health disparities, and improve population-wide outcome. The key risks, so I have the pleasure of inviting a very good panel, but let me not postpone that. Very quickly before we get on to that, Andhra Pradesh is special. We have coastal vulnerabilities here. This is a key subject. While I work, in my organization, working with farmers, fishers, women and garment workers, etc., they are faced by barrage of environmental risks, and they are only increasing in frequency and in extremities. Andhra Pradesh is not, it's special that way. You have a large coastal region. Coastal erosions are affecting fishing communities. The saltwater intrusion into agricultural land, people depend on them for livelihoods, and we depend on that for food. We have heat waves, we have dry spell, we have droughts, and there's massive agricultural impacts and weather security issues. So before I start the panel, we have a short presentation on what climate resilience and deep tech and AI applications into climate resilience. May I invite Dr. Dinesh Arora from ADB to present the financing on climate and health. Thank you. So highlighting the interest-free financing that's available for climate and health initiatives. May I now call upon my panelists. We are very fortunate to have some of the brightest minds that I have worked with in this space, and so we'll all have the privilege of hearing them as well. In quick succession, Mr. Madhav Joshi, CEO of the India Health Fund, Dr. Pranati Reddy, Clinical Director, Rainbow Hospitals, Dr. Sanjay Saran, CEO, IKP Knowledge Park, Dr. Rora is already here, Mr. Amit Nagraj, Senior Health Specialist from the World Bank, Dr. Sanjay Patan Shetty, Director, School of Public Health, NIMS University, yes, and Dr. Srinivas Madhuri, Department Head, University of Basel. Could you please take the stage? Thank you. Srinivas Khosla, Dr. Srinivas Khosla. I will start. Okay, thank you for being here. This panel is essentially about how can AI and deep tech help us all achieve the goals of Swarna Andhra Vision 2047. And because this is a very large panel, I'm going to stand so I can see all your faces. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Srinivas. The first one, Dr. Srinivas. We have two, okay, for all of you, we have two Dr. Srinivases and two Dr. Sanjays. So this is going to be a fun panel. The first Dr. Srinivas in the green. My question to you is, how do you, please introduce yourself in short, and how do you think AI and deep tech can help Andhra Pradesh reach?
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Honorable Chief Minister, and thank you for a wonderful presentation, the principals, the Additional Chief Secretary from Andhra Pradesh. I just wanted to sensitize on an issue which is rarely discussed. Okay. Pakistan suffered floods in 2022. 15% of its primary health centers got destroyed. About 4 times snake bites increased because of the flooding in that area, but the public health centers were not ready for this. Why did they collapse? Because they were not resilient enough. Bangladesh is having dengue across the year. It used to be only seasonal, 2 months, but now because of the rainfall patterns, increase in climate change and heat, the mosquito breeding has increased. New viruses are coming. If our glaciers melt, 50% new organisms from the permafrost will come, and we are not sure how we deal with them. This is one, Honorable Chief Minister, I wanted to sensitize on one issue of climate and health which is coming up. And many naysayers in the past have become yes-sayers for this. And Andhra Pradesh is no exception to that. We have floods, we have perceived temperatures, like in Visakhapatnam, because of humidity, it could go beyond 50. Informal workers, mainly ladies who work in the farms, how do we help them mitigate this loss? Animal health, the bird flu is so common, Nipah viruses. In fact, 5 of the 6 pandemics have come from animal origin. When we talk about health, animal health should be part of it. Unfortunately, we always talk about human health, leaving out animal health, which has been responsible for most of the crises, including COVID-19. 5 principles G20 India adopted this year, last year when they were there. And I just wanted to take you through those 5 principles. The first principle is resilient healthcare. Can our health structure stand when earthquake, floods, or any damage happens, or cyclone happens? That's called resistant. And if any damage happens, they become responsive and come back normally. That's resilient infrastructure. We do it for many things, but do it for health services, not only for infrastructure, but even for our health workforce has to be climate resilient. So I will showcase 2 tools. One is patch, which is being used in Philippines, and I'm glad that today Andhra Pradesh is signing MOU for that tool to use. How do you maximize resources when such cyclones can be predicted? And second, on urban health tool, heat tool. Can we predict heat waves and how do we mitigate with them? The second principle is building low carbon health systems to decrease carbon temperatures. Electrification through renewable energy, electrification of ambulances, use of LED light bulbs are very simple ways. Similarly, decarbonized health centers. Can Andhra Pradesh lead India in doing a decarbonization mapping of its health services like NHS has done? Sir, NHS is targeting NHS hospitals net zero by 2040. Can Andhra take that lead? And we are here to support and work with you on that. Green supply chain, whether it is vaccines, therapeutics, diagnostics, the packaging, can the material be used so that it has less carboniferous? Climate financing. In fact, sir, why I am talking here, because in the name of climate for health, we will get a lot of grant financing. So even if the loans come from World Bank or ADB, they can, interest rates can buy down with this, and it can be actually at zero interest rates. One very interesting is health insurance. Sir, you are the pioneer of the scheme which has been across India now. I was the deputy CEO of Ayushman Bharat, the PMJY scheme. Sir, we have today 5-star ratings of AC air conditions, how much energy they save. Can we have 5-star rating for, if I am using a knee replacement, how much carbon it has taken? Can we move towards incentivizing low carboniferous productions? It is possible. US and Korea are contemplating, can Andhra take the lead and come up with a incentivization mechanism for knee replacement, hip replacement to be less carboniferous? And of course, let's have animal health, not forget animal health should be part of human health when we discuss health pandemic preparedness. Sir, this is the patch tool. Sir, I'm glad today you are signing MOU with them. With this, we map climate data with health data and actually can predict that what cycles are coming. And this was done in a study in Philippines in one of the counties, and we could predict that when damage is coming, are the kits ready? Are the health workers trained enough? Is there a backup for the vaccines, for the medicines to be stored? Simple thing, when floods happen, do we have 3-store building where we can store ORS so that rehydration can be given when the floods are hit? This has been very successful in Philippines, and I'm glad Andhra is taking that lead today. Similarly, this is a tool of using AI with mapping from climate data to come up with heat maps. 60 meter square heat maps can be generated, and then we can predict in these hours there should be limited activity on those days. We are also coming with the parametric insurance. If there are 3 regular days of heat, women who work in the field will be compensated through an insurance scheme, which is being done through SEVA right now by Swiss Re in a pilot way, but it is being taken globally. Couple of these things where we would like to highlight and come and work with your team here to get them a parametric insurance for heat stresses. This is the 60 hexagonal, sir. So the climate is not only temperature, it's humidity. It's also the base structure of anthropogenic surface area, greenery, water bodies which can be mapped, and then we can predict what are the urban islands which we need to protect against heat stresses. Finally, one of the best practices I wanted to highlight is Center for Disease Control. Normally it has been done only for vector-borne diseases, but today concept is changing. It's for non-communicable diseases, it's for communicable, and it's also for animal health. The Asian CDC, which ADB is supporting, is now the latest one where we talk about One Health workforce, which is human health, veterinary doctors, and the paramedics all coming together, which not only bring the solutions but also to the economic researches. So I think we can have one CDC established in Andhra Pradesh, which can actually lead the way and could then become a regional CDC for many other states and in fact for the other countries also. I think I'll pause here for the time. Thank you. One last slide, sir. Climate vulnerable diseases like dengue, chikungunya, TB, these are becoming. So there is a huge catalytic grant capital available from Gates, Temasek, Tahir, Tata Trust. I think Madhav is here. Green Climate Fund. We can channelize that grant financing so that we can have meaningful impact on how do we decrease climate vulnerable diseases, come up with the newer vaccines for dengue. Why should it take 60 years to come for a vaccine for TB when it took 9 months for COVID? Because it's in the third world. But can we use this grant financing along with the multilateral financing from ADB World Bank to channelize resources and end TB malaria in Andhra Pradesh, in India. One last snippet, sir. The specificity of tuberculin test is only 50%. World over, we have moved towards TrueGen, X-Gene Expert, AI-based X-rays, but still 50% in India are still being used for specimenship, which has only 50%, the clinic diagnostics. Can we move to neo-diagnosis for TB, which can eliminate that? That's my last appeal, sir. And the telemedicine is not only increasing access, as I think the Principal Secretary showed a wonderful presentation, they're talking about smart health ATMs. In fact, it is also less carboniferous and it decreases huge less when traveling expenditure is not there, people are not going, they get medicines at one pair. Telemedicine, in fact, should be the aim we move forward. And when the Principal Secretary did mention about the futuristic IT tech, sir, I have just one request. Imagine at 2 a.m. in the night, a pregnant mother is having palpitations. What should she do? Can we have a system which sir mentioned? She calls up a call center, they recognize the mobile, they have a Abha ID, they say, hey, what is your happening? Suddenly the triage goes to a nurse, she explains, okay, can you have your BP? Can you take your lime water? Are you able to do? They send an ambulance at home at 2 a.m. in the night. The concerned nearest hospital is informed that a pregnant mother with palpitations is coming. She goes there. If everything is fine, she returns back. There's a continuum of care. Next day morning, a specialist is arranged where at 11 o'clock her appointment is fixed. She goes there, gets medicines and comes back. That is perhaps Swaran Andhra in patient-centric terms, which I think the team is trying and we are here to support that. Thank you.